Have you ever felt your stomach drop when you heard your own name in a whisper? Not because the whisper was loud, but because it was unseen. A rumor moves like wind. You cannot hold it, you cannot grab it, you cannot argue with it in every corner of the world. And yet, a rumor can steal your sleep. It can make your heart race. It can make you question yourself. It can make you feel lonely inside a crowd. Here is the painful truth. Even if you live gently, someone will misunderstand you. Even if you are sincere, someone will doubt you. Even if you do your best, someone will say it is not enough. Even if your hands are clean, someone will still point at you. So what is the best way to face rumors and criticism? Not by fighting every mouth, not by chasing every shadow, not by becoming hard and cold. The Buddha offered a different power. The power to listen with compassion, but not be shaken. The power to see clearly, but not become bitter. The power to protect your dignity without poisoning your heart. Tonight, we will walk through this teaching slowly, like a calm river. We will speak about gossip, blame, and public opinion. We will speak about right speech, noble silence, and the second arrow. We will speak about boundaries that do not carry hatred. And we will learn how to live like a lotus, rooted in mud, but rising into clean air, opening quietly, without arguing with the mud. Welcome, dear friends, to Buddha Peaceful Mind. If you are here because you are tired of being judged, misunderstood, or talked about, you are in the right place. If these teachings bring you calm or strength, you are warmly invited to like the video and subscribe to Buddha Peaceful Mind, so this gentle refuge can continue to grow and reach more hearts who need peace. Now, let us begin with a simple question. Why do rumors hurt so much? It is not only because of the words, it is because of what the words touch inside us. Rumors touch our fear of rejection. They touch our craving to be understood. They touch our need to be seen as good. They touch the part of the mind that wants control. And the Buddha taught that the craving for control creates suffering. When you try to control everyone's opinion, you put your heart into a prison. Because people's minds are not yours. Their stories are not yours. Their projections are not yours. So the first step in facing rumors is a deep acceptance. You cannot stop people from talking, but you can stop feeding the fire inside you. This is not surrender to injustice. This is wisdom. You can take practical action when needed, but you do not have to burn while you act. This is the middle way. Now, in Buddhism, there is a teaching that is simple and sharp. The world is full of sound, praise and blame, fame and disrepute, gain and loss, pleasure and pain. The Buddha called these the 8 worldly winds. These winds blow on everyone, even on awakened beings, even on the Buddha himself. If you cling to praise, blame will crush you. If you cling to fame, disrepute will wound you. If you cling to gain, loss will terrify you. If you cling to pleasure, pain will feel unbearable. So the Buddha did not teach how to stop the winds. He taught how to stop being blown away. This is the real protection. Now let us bring in a story that many people love because it carries a strong medicine. A man once came to the Buddha full of anger. He insulted him. He mocked him. He tried to provoke him. The Buddha listened calmly. When the man ran out of words, the Buddha asked gently, "If you prepare a gift for someone and they refuse to accept it, who does the gift belong to?" The man answered, "It belongs to the one who offered it." The Buddha said, "In the same way, I do not accept your anger. It remains with you." This is one of the clearest teachings about rumors and insults. Every harsh word is an offering. Every rumor is an offering of someone's confusion, fear, envy, or pain. You do not have to accept it. But how do you not accept it? Not by pretending you are not hurt, not by becoming numb, not by acting superior. You do it through mindfulness. You feel the sting. You acknowledge it. This hurts. This is unpleasant. And then you breathe. You recognize, I do not need to catch this burning gift. This practice is simple, but it is not easy. So we will train it in many ways throughout this talk. Now, let us be very honest. Sometimes rumors are harmless, like dust. Sometimes rumors are dangerous, like smoke from a fire. So the Buddha's teaching is not only calmness, it is also discernment. Discernment means you see what kind of situation you are in, and you respond wisely. So here is a practical Dharma map you can hold in your hand. When you hear a rumor about yourself, ask 3 questions. Is it true? Is it partly true? Is it false? Then ask one more question. Is it dangerous? Because there is a difference between a rumor that hurts your feelings and a rumor that harms your safety or livelihood. So the response must match the reality. If it is true, the Buddha would say, use it as a mirror, not as a weapon. Correct what needs correcting. Apologize where needed. Learn. Grow. If it is false, the Buddha would say, do not waste your life chasing every shadow. Speak once clearly if needed, then stop. Let your conduct become your answer. If it is dangerous, the Buddha would say, protect yourself. Set boundaries. Document facts. Seek wise support. Do not face it alone. And still, do not carry hatred. This is the middle way. Calm heart, wise action. Now, let us explore the inner training first, because inner training is what makes any outer action clean. The Buddha taught that suffering has 2 layers. Pain is one layer. The mind's reaction is another layer. He used the image of 2 arrows. The first arrow is what happens to you. A harsh sentence, a rumor, a betrayal, a misunderstanding. The second arrow is what you add. The replaying, the self-hatred, the obsession, the revenge fantasies, the endless arguing in your head. You cannot always avoid the first arrow, but you can learn not to shoot yourself with the second. This is where peace becomes possible. So when you hear a rumor, you can say quietly inside, this is the first arrow. I will not add the second. Then you return to the breath. Now, let us speak about the mind that wants to explain itself. Many people suffer deeply because they want everyone to understand them. This is human. We all want to be seen. But the Buddha taught that not everyone will see you. Not everyone has the same perception. Not everyone has the same karma. Not everyone has the same level of understanding. So trying to convince everyone is like trying to make the ocean hold still. You exhaust yourself. So the Buddha's wisdom is simple. Those who understand you do not need long explanations. Those who do not want to understand you will not be convinced by 100 explanations. So speak when it is beneficial, and then let go. This is freedom. Now let us bring a small everyday story, because the Dharma must touch real life. A woman named Lena worked in a small office. One day she noticed a change. People looked at her differently. Conversations stopped when she entered the room. Later, a friend whispered, "There is a rumor about you. They say you got your position through favoritism." Lena felt heat rise in her body. Her mind raced. She wanted to defend herself loudly. She wanted to confront everyone. That night she could not sleep. She replayed scenes. She imagined arguments. Then she remembered a simple practice she learned. One breath before action. She sat on her bed. She breathed slowly. She said, "I feel the first arrow. I will not add the second." The next day, she did 3 wise things. First, she checked the facts. Where did this rumor come from? Who is spreading it? What is the impact? Second, she spoke to her manager calmly and directly. She clarified her work process and achievements. She asked for guidance. Third, she returned to her conduct. She focused on doing her work with integrity. She avoided gossip. She avoided revenge. She remained polite. Within weeks, the rumor weakened. Not because Lena fought everyone, but because her stability made the rumor look foolish. Her conduct became louder than the whisper. This story teaches a deep principle. Rumors feed on emotion. Rumors feed on reaction. Rumors feed on drama. When you do not feed them, they often starve. Now, this does not mean you always stay silent. Sometimes silence allows harm to grow. So the Dharma is not silence. The Dharma is wise speech and wise silence. In Buddhism, right speech is a path. Right speech is truthful. Right speech is harmonious. Right speech is gentle. Right speech is timely and beneficial. Rumor speech is the opposite. Rumor speech is careless. It divides people. It often has no proof. It often feeds ego and entertainment. So one of the best ways to face rumors is to never become a rumor spreader yourself. Because when you refuse gossip, you build a clean mind. A clean mind is the strongest armor. Now, let us speak about a practice you can use in any conversation. When someone brings gossip to you, you can respond with one gentle sentence. I prefer not to speak about someone who is not here. If it is important, maybe we can speak directly to them. This sentence is small, but it is powerful. It protects your karma. It protects the other person's dignity. It protects the community from division. And it teaches people how to treat you. They learn you are not a place where poison can rest. Now, let us add a story about this. A young man named Tuan moved to a new community. He wanted friends. He wanted belonging. Soon, people invited him into conversations full of gossip. They talked about everyone. They laughed. They judged. At first, Tuan joined. He wanted acceptance. But later he noticed something. The more they gossiped, the more anxious he felt. Because if they speak that way about others, they will speak that way about me. He decided to change. When gossip started, he stayed quiet. Then he gently said, I don't really know the whole story, so I prefer not to judge. Or he would say, maybe they are going through something we don't see. Some people laughed at him. Some people stopped inviting him. But something else happened. A few people respected him more. They began sharing deeper conversations. They began trusting him. Tuan lost shallow connection and gained real connection. This is merit. This is protection. Now, the Buddha also taught that the mind becomes what it repeatedly touches. If you repeatedly touch gossip, your mind becomes suspicious. If you repeatedly touch blame, your mind becomes bitter. If you repeatedly touch compassion, your mind becomes soft. If you repeatedly touch truth, your mind becomes clear. So when you face rumors, choose what you touch. Do not touch the poison longer than necessary. Now, let us talk about the lotus. The lotus is one of the most beautiful symbols in Buddhist cultures. Because it grows in mud, but it does not become mud. It rises and opens in clean air. It does not complain about the mud. It uses the mud. This is the perfect symbol for dealing with rumors. Rumors are mud. Unfairness is mud. Misunderstanding is mud. The question is not whether you will touch mud. You will. The question is whether you will become mud. The lotus teaches you. Root deeply in virtue. Rise through mindfulness. Bloom through compassion. And keep your fragrance, even if the air around you is not pure. Now, a small story about the lotus in human form. There was a monk who was blamed for something he did not do. People avoided him. They whispered. They pointed. He felt hurt. He was human, but he did not retaliate. He continued to practice. He continued to keep precepts. He continued to help quietly. One day, the truth came out. The real cause was discovered. Some villagers apologized. The monk bowed and said, "It is okay. I also learned something. I learned to strengthen my patience. I learned to see how quickly minds can create stories. I learned not to hate. This is lotus mind." Now let us be careful. Lotus mind does not mean you accept abuse forever. Lotus mind includes boundaries. A lotus rises above mud. It does not sleep inside the mud. So if someone's rumor is becoming harassment, you can step away. You can block. You can report. You can seek help. You can protect your space. And you can do it without hatred. This is important because many people confuse peace with passivity. The Buddha did not teach passivity. He taught wise action without poison. Now, let us explore another deep root of rumor pain, the self-image. When someone says something about you, the mind asks, "What will people think of me?" This is a form of clinging to identity, clinging to reputation. The Buddha taught non-self. Not that you do not exist, but that the self is not fixed and not fully controllable. Reputation is also not fixed. It changes in people's minds. It rises and falls like wind. So if you build your peace on reputation, your peace will rise and fall with other people's mouths. This is suffering. So the Buddha's path is to build peace on conduct, on virtue, on intention, on wisdom. People can misunderstand your image, but they cannot change your intention if your heart is steady. They cannot steal your virtue if you keep it. So return to what is yours, your actions, your speech, your mind. This is your refuge. Now we will take a gentle pause in the form of reflection. Think of one rumor or criticism that has hurt you. Not to reopen the wound, but to see it clearly. Now ask, what did it touch in me? Was it fear of rejection? Was it shame? Was it craving approval? Was it the need to be seen as good? Now, breathe and say softly, I see you. I will not let you control my life. This is a turning point. Now, let us speak about when you should respond and when you should not. Some people respond to everything. They become exhausted. They become reactive. They become trapped. Some people never respond. They become harmed. They become unsafe. They become silent victims. So wisdom is needed. Here is a simple Buddhist approach. Respond when it reduces suffering. Stay silent when speech would increase suffering. This sounds simple, but it requires mindfulness. So practice this. Before responding, ask, am I speaking to heal or to win? Am I speaking to clarify or to punish? Am I speaking from calm or from fire? If you are speaking from fire, wait. One breath can change the karma of a whole conversation. Now let us add a story about speaking once, then stopping. A teacher in a school faced a rumor. Parents began talking. Someone said the teacher was unfair. The rumor spread. The teacher wanted to defend herself with many words, but she chose a different way. She wrote one clear message. She stated facts. She invited direct conversation. She remained respectful. Then she stopped. She did not argue online. She did not chase comments. She did not humiliate anyone. In time, her calmness became her proof. The parents who wanted truth came to her. The parents who wanted drama left. This is skillful speech. One clear candle is better than 1,000 sparks. Now we should also speak about compassion for the rumor spreader. This is difficult, but it is important. People who spread rumors often carry their own suffering. Sometimes they are jealous. Sometimes they are afraid. Sometimes they want attention. Sometimes they feel powerless, so they create power through words. Sometimes they are hurt, and they release pain onto others. This does not excuse harm, but it helps you not become bitter. If you see that a person is trapped in their own poison, you stop taking it so personally. You can say quietly, this is their mind. This is their karma. I will protect myself, but I will not become like them. This is freedom. Now let us tell a story from the Buddha's time that shows this deep compassion. Devadatta, a cousin of the Buddha, became jealous. He tried to harm the Buddha and divide the community. The Buddha did not hate him. He set boundaries. He protected the Sangha. He spoke truth. But he did not carry hatred. This is an advanced practice, and we may not reach it fully, but we can take one step toward it. One step is simply this. Do not wish suffering on them. Wishing harm keeps you tied to them. Instead, wish clarity. May they be free from ignorance. May they stop harming. And then, protect your boundary. Now, we will bring the teaching into a daily practice you can do for 7 days. It is called the Lotus practice. Day by day, you will do 3 things. First, root. Root means you practice one act of virtue. Keep one promise. Tell one truth. Avoid one harmful habit. Speak one gentle sentence. This is your root. Second, rise. Rise means you return to mindfulness. 10 minutes of breath, a mindful walk, a pause before replying. This is rising above the mud. Third, bloom. Bloom means you offer one act of kindness, a message, a smile, a small help, a sincere thanks. This is fragrance. If you do these 3 daily, your mind becomes stronger. And when rumors come, they feel like mud below, not poison inside. Now, let us speak about something subtle, the desire to retaliate. When people speak about you, the mind wants to hit back. It wants to expose them. It wants to shame them. It wants justice through humiliation. This is understandable. But in Buddhism, the Buddha taught that hatred does not end hatred. It only continues it. So the practice is to protect yourself without revenge. Revenge is often the second arrow. It feels like power, but it creates more suffering. Now, a story. A man named Ken was falsely accused. He was furious. He gathered proof. He wanted to destroy the person who started it. A wise friend asked him, "Do you want truth, or do you want blood?" Ken paused. He realized his heart was becoming dark. He decided to choose truth, not blood. He clarified facts with the right people. He set boundaries. He stopped contact with the person. But he did not launch a public attack. He did not humiliate. Later, Ken said, "If I had attacked, I would have won, but I would have become someone I did not respect." This is Dharma, protection without poison. Now, another deep part of rumor suffering is the endless inner conversation. We replay, we imagine, we argue with a person who is not there. We create speeches in our head. We create trial courts in our mind. This is exhausting. So the Buddha's practice is to return to the body. When the mind is noisy, return to breath. Return to the feet. Return to sensation. Because the body is always in the present. The rumor is in the story. The story is in the mind. The breath brings you back. Now, try this simple practice when your mind is spinning. Feel the inhale. Feel the exhale. Then feel your feet on the ground. Say silently, "Here, here, here." This is a small anchor, and anchors protect ships in storms. Now, we should speak about when you are the one who hears a rumor about someone else. This is the other half of the teaching. Because to live like a lotus, you also stop becoming mud for others. So the Buddha's guidance is clear. Do not pass on what you have not verified. Do not enjoy speaking about someone's faults. Do not take pleasure in division. If someone brings a rumor to you, you can ask, "Do you know this directly? Or is it a story?" If it is a story, let it go. This is right speech as compassion. Now let us add the feather story because it is a simple picture. A person who loved gossip went to a wise teacher and said, "I regret my gossip. How can I take it back?" The teacher gave them a pillow full of feathers and told them to open it on a windy day. They did, and the feathers flew everywhere. The teacher said, "Now gather them back." The person said, "That is impossible." The teacher said, "That is what words are like. Once they spread, you cannot gather them back easily. So guard your speech." This story is not from the early suttas, but it expresses a truth the Buddha taught about karma. Speech has consequences. Speech spreads, so practice careful speech. Now at this point, let us place a second gentle invitation. If you find this talk grounding, you are welcome to subscribe to Buddha Peaceful Mind. It is a quiet way to support long, calming Dharma reflections like this, and it helps more people find peace in the middle of noise. Now, let us go deeper into the emotional skill of compassion without being shaken. Compassion means you understand that people suffer, but not being shaken means you do not let their suffering become your suffering. So compassion needs wisdom. Wisdom means you know where your responsibility ends. You are responsible for your intention. You are responsible for your speech. You are responsible for your actions. You are not responsible for everyone's interpretation. You are not responsible for the stories people create. You are not responsible for the mood of the crowd. This distinction is freedom. Now, let us explore this through a very simple sentence. My peace depends on my conduct, not on their opinion. Repeat it gently in your mind. My peace depends on my conduct, not on their opinion. This is not arrogance. It is grounded dignity. Now we will speak about the idea of observing without judgment. In Buddhist language, we call this mindfulness. Bare attention, seeing clearly. When a rumor appears, you can observe it like weather. A storm cloud has arrived. It may pass, it may bring rain, but it is not the sky. In the same way, a rumor is not your essence. It is not your identity. It is not yourself. It is a cloud in the social sky. So do not become the cloud. Be the sky. This is a helpful metaphor. Now we should speak about one more important aspect, the timing of truth. Sometimes you should clarify quickly to prevent harm. Sometimes you should wait because the crowd is emotional and cannot hear. The Buddha was a master of timing. He taught not only what is true, but what is beneficial now. So when you choose to speak, choose the right time. If your mind is angry, it is not the right time. If the other person is enraged, it is not the right time. Wait until calm returns. Then speak simply. Fact, boundary, kindness. Now here are 3 short sentences that are powerful in rumor situations. I understand there are questions. Here are the facts. I'm open to direct conversation if you want clarity. I won't participate in gossip. Let's speak respectfully. These sentences are clean. They do not attack. They do not beg. They clarify. Now let us speak about the role of silence again. Silence is powerful when it is chosen, not forced. Silence can be a boundary. Silence can be dignity. Silence can be refusal to feed drama. But silence can also be fear. So check your silence. Are you silent because you are wise, or silent because you are afraid? If you are afraid, you may need support. A friend, a counselor, a community, a trusted leader. The Buddha did not ask you to suffer alone, so seek wise support. Now, let us bring in a story about silence with strength. A young monk was criticized publicly by villagers. He felt shame. He wanted to run. He wanted to fight. His teacher told him, "Do not answer when your heart is burning. Let the fire cool, then decide." The monk practiced. He breathed. He waited. Later, he spoke one sentence. "I hear your concerns. If I have done wrong, I will correct it. If not, please speak to me directly. His calmness changed the mood. Some people softened. Some people walked away. The monk learned something. Silence was not weakness. Silence was time for wisdom. Now we will go into the heart of the Lotus teaching once more, because it is the most poetic and the most practical. The Lotus does not argue with the mud, but it also does not pretend the mud is perfume. It simply grows. So in your life, do not argue with every rumor, but also do not pretend harm is okay. Grow. Grow in virtue. Grow in patience. Grow in wisdom. Grow in boundaries. Grow in compassion, and your growth becomes your answer. Now, let us speak about the inner compass, living without shame. You wrote a line that is very strong. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to live without being ashamed of your heart. This is very Buddhist. The Buddha taught that a clean conscience is a treasure. A clean conscience comes from virtue, honesty, non-harming, right speech, right livelihood, mindfulness. When you have a clean conscience, rumors cannot destroy you completely. They can still sting, but they cannot take your dignity. So focus on what makes the conscience clean. Now we will talk about one more obstacle, the mind's craving for fairness. When rumors are unfair, the mind screams, "This is not fair. This is natural." But the Buddha taught that life is not always fair by our expectations. Life is shaped by many causes, many conditions, many minds. So the practice is to accept unfairness without becoming bitter. Accepting unfairness does not mean approving it. It means not letting it poison you. Then you act wisely within your power. This is a high practice. Now, a short story. A woman was blamed for a mistake she did not make. She felt injustice. She spoke to the right person with evidence. She clarified calmly, but the crowd still whispered. She realized she could not force everyone to admit they were wrong. So she stopped chasing. She focused on her work. She stayed kind. She stayed steady. Later, people saw the truth through time, and the woman did not lose her peace while waiting. Time often reveals what arguments cannot. This is another Dharma truth. Time is a teacher. Now, we will add a final gentle invitation near the end as a quiet support. If you would like more long voiceover Dharma talks like this, you are welcome to like the video and subscribe to Buddha Peaceful Mind. Your support helps this channel continue offering calm, simple teachings for hearts that are tired of noise. Now, we will begin closing. But we will close slowly, because this is a teaching you must feel, not only understand. When you face rumors, remember 4 keys. Do not catch the burning gift. Do not shoot the second arrow. Do not feed gossip. Do not abandon your lotus heart. And remember the middle way. Be compassionate, but not shaken. Be gentle, but not weak. Be silent when wise. Speak when beneficial. Protect yourself without hatred. Now, let us end with a short guided blessing, like a soft prayer. May you be safe in your heart. May your mind be steady in praise and blame. May you not be trapped by other people's stories. May your conduct be clean, so your conscience is light. May your speech be gentle, so your relationships are safe. May your boundaries be clear, so your dignity is protected. May your compassion remain, so you do not become bitter. May you live like a lotus, rooted in reality, rising through mindfulness, blooming through kindness, and staying clean even when the world is muddy. Thank you for listening. Now, dear friends, let us slow down and go even deeper, because rumors are not only social events, they are spiritual tests. They test your attachment to reputation. They test your patience. They test your ability to speak wisely. They test your capacity to stay kind when you feel misunderstood. And the Buddha did not teach Dharma for easy days only. He taught Dharma for storms. So let us learn to use rumors as practice, without romanticizing harm, and without becoming a victim. First, let us look at the most common mistake people make. They try to stop the rumor by feeding it. They respond to every comment. They argue in every group chat. They explain themselves again and again. They chase every whisper. They hunt for every mouth. And the strange thing is, the more they chase, the bigger it becomes. Because attention is food. Reaction is food. Drama is food. So the Buddha's wisdom is to reduce feeding. If you must speak, speak once, clearly, calmly. Then return to your life. Let your life become the long answer. Now here is a Buddha story that shows this perfectly. There was a time when a woman named Chinsha Manavika, influenced by those who disliked the Buddha, tried to damage his reputation. She pretended to be pregnant and accused the Buddha publicly, saying he was responsible. People gathered. Some believed, some doubted, some whispered. The Buddha did not shout. He did not insult her. He did not panic. He said calmly that her words were not true, and he stood steady. In time, the truth was revealed, and her deception became clear. The rumor collapsed by itself. The deeper lesson is not that truth always wins quickly. Sometimes it takes time. The deeper lesson is the Buddha's mind. He did not build his peace on the crowd. He built his peace on truth and conduct. So when the crowd was confused, he did not become confused. When the crowd was emotional, he did not become emotional. He was like a mountain in the wind. This is what the 8 worldly winds teaching means in real life. Now, you may be thinking, but I am not the Buddha. How can I stand like that? You do not need to stand perfectly. You only need to practice one small step, one breath, one pause, one truthful sentence, one boundary, one return. Now, let us talk about the 3 types of rumor situations more clearly, because clarity reduces suffering. Sometimes a rumor is true. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you hurt someone. Maybe your action was unskillful. In this case, the best response is not defense. The best response is dignity. In Buddhism, dignity is not pretending. Dignity is honesty. So the Buddha's path is confession and correction. There are 3 steps. First, admit the truth without excuses. Second, feel remorse without self-hatred. Third, correct the behavior and make amends if possible. This is powerful, because when you correct yourself, you remove fuel from the rumor, and you also build merit. Now, a short story. A young woman once spoke harshly to a coworker. Later, people talked about it. They called her cruel. At first, she wanted to defend herself. She wanted to say, "You do not know my stress." But then she paused. She realized the rumor had a root. So she apologized. Not dramatically, not publicly for attention, but sincerely. She told the coworker, "I spoke from stress. You did not deserve that. I am sorry." Then she practiced one breath before speaking. She changed. Soon the old story had nothing to feed on. People began seeing the new person, not the old moment. This is how karma changes, not through excuses, but through practice. Now, sometimes a rumor is partly true. A small mistake becomes a big story. A private detail becomes public entertainment. A misunderstanding becomes a label. In this case, the practice is to clarify what is necessary and release the rest. You can say, "Yes, this part is true, and I have corrected it, but this part is not true." Then stop. Do not try to make everyone like you. Do not try to remove every misunderstanding. That is endless. Clarify what matters, then return to your life. Now, sometimes a rumor is false. This is the hardest because the mind feels injustice. In this case, you have three possible responses. If the rumor is small and harmless, you can ignore it and let it die. If the rumor is medium and confusing people close to you, you can clarify once with calm facts. If the rumor is dangerous and threatens safety, livelihood, or legal issues, you must protect yourself through wise steps. Wise steps may include documentation, formal complaints, mediation, trusted leaders, or professional help. The Buddha's path never says, "Endure harm silently forever." It says, "Protect life with wisdom, without hatred." Now let us speak about the digital world, because rumors today travel faster than wind. A sentence typed in 5 seconds can travel to thousands of minds. A screenshot can become a weapon. A comment section can become a battlefield. So we need digital dharma. Digital dharma begins with remembering that typing is karma. Sharing is karma. Commenting is karma. Before you type or share, pass it through the 4 gates. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it beneficial? Is it the right time? If not, do not send it. This is how you stop becoming mud for others. Now, what if the rumor is about you online? Here are 3 Buddhist principles that protect you. Do not refresh the fire. Do not argue with strangers who do not want understanding. Do not confuse your worth with a comment section. Instead, do this. Speak once if necessary, with calm clarity. Then step away. Return to your breath. Return to your real life. Return to people who know your heart. And remember, the internet is not reality. It is a river of projections. If you stare at projections too long, you begin to forget your own face. So step back. Now a small modern story. A man posted a video online. Someone misunderstood it and started a rumor. The rumor spread. The man spent days replying to every comment. He became exhausted. He became bitter. He started insulting people back. The rumor grew bigger, not because of the original lie, but because of his reaction. Then he stopped. He wrote one calm statement. He clarified facts. He apologized for anything unclear. Then he stepped away. He focused on his life. He focused on his conduct. Within time, the rumor faded. and his mind recovered. This teaches a deep lesson. Your mind is more valuable than your image. Do not sacrifice your peace to win a comment war. Now, let us return again to compassion, because compassion is what keeps the lotus clean. Compassion means you understand that people project. A person who feels powerless may attack others to feel strong. A person who feels unseen may spread rumors to feel important. A person who is jealous may pull others down to feel less small. This is suffering. So you can see their action as a symptom, not as your identity. Again, this does not excuse harm, but it prevents hatred. And hatred is what makes you sink into mud. Now, let us talk about boundaries in a very practical way, because this is where many kind people suffer. They think being spiritual means absorbing everything. They think being kind means never saying no. But the Buddha taught wise compassion. Wise compassion includes protecting yourself. Here are a few boundaries that are very Buddhist. I will speak with you if we can be respectful. I will not continue this conversation in gossip. I will take a break and return later. I will not accept insults. If you have a concern, speak to me directly. These are not aggressive, they are clean. Now, a story. A young woman was often gossiped about by relatives. At every family gathering, someone made comments. She tried to smile, she tried to endure, but inside, she suffered. One day, she practiced the middle way. When a relative began gossiping, she said calmly, "I understand we all have opinions, but I am not comfortable being spoken about like this. If you have a concern, please tell me directly." Then she changed the topic. If the gossip continued, she stepped away. At first, it felt scary, but soon people learned her boundary. Some kept gossiping, but far from her. Some became more respectful, and her mind became lighter. This is protection without hatred. Now let us speak about the inner rumor. Sometimes the most painful rumor is the rumor you tell yourself. Your mind repeats, "They think I am worthless. They all hate me. I am not enough. I am broken." This is also gossip. Gossip inside. And this inner gossip creates suffering. So the Buddha's teaching applies here too. Observe without believing. Listen without being shaken. When an inner rumor arises, treat it like a cloud. A thought is here. A story is here. Then return to breath. Then answer with kindness. I may be misunderstood, but I can live with integrity. I may be criticized, but I can still be kind. I am not my reputation. I am not my thoughts. I am a human practicing. This is powerful, because if you win against the crowd but lose against your own mind, you still suffer. So protect the inner mind first. Now, let us add a longer guided practice you can use anytime you feel shaken by rumors. Sit comfortably. Feel your breath. Name what is happening. Rumor, fear, shame, anger. Do not fight it, just name it. Now, place a hand on your chest if you can. Feel the warmth. Say softly inside, "This is painful. This is human. I will not abandon myself." Now, breathe slowly. Then ask, what is one wise step? Maybe the wise step is to clarify with one person. Maybe it is to set a boundary. Maybe it is to take a break from social media. Maybe it is to talk to a trusted friend. Maybe it is to rest. Choose one step, Then stop. This practice turns chaos into action without panic. Now, let us return to the lotus one last time, and we will take the lotus as a complete Dharma teaching. The lotus has roots. This is virtue. The lotus rises. This is mindfulness. The lotus blooms. This is compassion. And the lotus has fragrance. This is the quiet influence of a clean heart. So if you want to face rumors, practice these four: virtue, mindfulness, compassion, quiet influence. Virtue means you live in a way your conscience respects. Mindfulness means you do not get swept away by emotion. Compassion means you do not become bitter. Quiet influence means you let your life speak over time. This is a stable path. Now, dear friends, remember this. You do not need to be loved by everyone. You need to be at peace with your own heart. You do not need to control every story. You need to control your intention. You do not need to defeat every mouth. You need to protect your mind from becoming poisonous. And if you practice this, rumors will still come, but they will not own you. They will be wind, and you will be the mountain. They will be mud, and you will be the lotus. Thank you for staying with this teaching.